All right, welcome back to a monster movie every day for October 2022. The movie for October 20th is The Mummy's Ghost from this set, from the Big 30 movie set on Blu ray from 1944. So, one cool thing about this is that it is actually a continuation of the story from The Mummy's Hand, The Mummy's Tomb, and now The Mummy's Ghost. And I did find out that the next one, The Curse of the Mummy, or Mummy's Curse, is the fourth in that series, continuing the same storyline. So, I'm actually pretty excited about that. So, spoiler, the mummy survived getting shot and getting burned from the last movie. So, he's back again, looking for his bride. So, here we go. All right, so we have a professor from the last movie. I don't know if it's the same guy, but his character was in the last movie because he analyzed the mold on the mummy's clothing. But look, he's a professor and he's teaching stuff, and this totally feels like the precursor to Indiana Jones, where he's teaching some fantastical archaeology stuff uh, in here. Except for this guy is actually teaching about a living mummy, whereas Indiana Jones doesn't really talk about that stuff. But none of these students seem to have a crush on this super old guy, so that's a little different from Indiana Jones also. So this is the boyfriend and girlfriend. They're kind of the main younger characters here, and she gets all bothered when anything of Egyptian is mentioned. This is her bothered face, and it's presumably so she is Egyptian, and it's presumably because the cursey stuff that happened in the opening scene, like happens in the opening scene of all these movies. A new little stooge guy, basically swears to help the mummy to find his lady. So maybe she's having some lady spirit issues. All right, check the shot out. Right there, yeah. Look at that. Looks so good. He's walking towards the camera as the camera's backing up, and he's like, meh. Anyway, I like that one. But the thing that is interesting to me, there's these leaves that are from an extinct plant called the Tana leaves that pretty much will bring the mummy back or make people immortal. Um, and they're like constantly boiling these leaves to make the tea or whatever they do. And it's like, are you guys gonna eventually run out of these leaves? I don't know, but they're boiling them all the time and to keep this mummy rejuvenated. So they've got to run out eventually, right? So this girl kind of starts doing the thing that the girls do when they get possessed with the old broad from Egypt, and they basically start sleepwalking or start basically making their way towards the mummy. So she's gonna see this guy when he walks out from doing the murder and pass out, and then her hair gets really cool. It gets like a big white streak in it. So she's totally passed out, and then the camera very, very quickly, I'm going to do frame by frame here, but it very, very quickly shows her little quote unquote birthmark that she pretty much, I think, just showed up. Let's see when the camera finally stops here. Should be able to see. It's really hard to see, but it looks like it's some kind of design, and it's not just like a mole or something. Anyway, so there's her cool new hair. But the movie's a little weird with how it words stuff. It's like her she's the new vessel of the ghost from the old princess, but then later the little prince or priest guy says that the princess has been reincarnated here. So I think they're kind of using those words a little bit weirdly. But anyway, her hair looks cool now because she got haunted. Just a quick note on the Blu-ray, it's okay looking. Some of the grain was a little bit globby, and there's also some zoom-ins that didn't seem. It almost seemed like a digital zoom where there becomes more noise, even though I know that that's not really a thing here. But it's a little bit globby, and the sound was okay. But so totally adequate Blu-ray transfer, but nothing fancy. Little soft, but it was okay. All right, the editing on this part is freaking incredible. So you got the mummy reaching into his girlfriend's old tomb to like touch her or whatever, and then look at this. Look at this awesome. Look at how it cuts here. Yeah. So anyway, he touches her. The girl wakes up and she's like ah, very clearly showing that she's got like an ET type connection going on here. More so that she's kind of the new house for the ghost of the mummy. Also, this guy's clearly not a ghost, even though he got burned in the last one. The ghost of the mummy, as my wife pointed out, is most likely the girlfriend. Uh, yeah. But then she like wakes up, and so they were connected. But when it comes back here, you see that the girl mummy's all like dissolved and stuff. So I thought that little quick cutting was super cool. It's probably my favorite groups of shots in this one. I always like seeing people try and shoot the mummy and then getting killed. At least he's not shooting like this though, like they keep doing. All right, this is actually my favorite quote or line in the movie. He's like, "Why don't you try and relax?" And she's like, "I tried to relax, Tommy. Honestly, I did. But I, what does she say? But I have this awful haunted feeling." That is very creepy and sinister, and she's had some scary crap go on with her. So, kind of starting to feel bad for her, and you're gonna feel really bad for her before this thing's totally over. All right, this is my favorite bit of music in this movie. Listen to this. Yeah, breaking it down. The cellist or violist or whoever is sliding across the stage on their back while they're playing that. They're really getting into it. All right, this may actually be my favorite shot right there. Look at that. You got mummy coming around the corner on this side, girl coming around the corner on this side, and yeah, they're trying to lure the mummy back to the scene of the murder by boiling more of those leaves with a whole bunch of like cops and volunteers there to try and ambush him. Basically, they actually dig a hole to try and stop him. Spoiler alert: he doesn't fall in it. All right, here we go. This would not be a monster movie without the monster carrying the girl in that pose like that. So, uh, not gonna lie, I love it when they show that. Uh, I just think it's so classic monster movie ish. So here you go in this movie too. Also, her hair turned even more white after this encounter. There you go. There you can see her more white hair there. Can I just say, what a well dressed mob! Look at all those ties. All right, so apparently the temptation that these priests run into every single time is that they want to take the broad for themselves away from the mummy. So this guy is having a major existential crisis on if he wants to take this girl for himself and both become immortal. That seems to be a theme in these movies. But the mummy will not have any of that. All right, so spoiler alert here. Mummy's carrying the girl away, and it just keeps showing her arms and legs, and she's getting more and more like super old and wrinkly. It's very creepy. All right, and then we have a legitimate, super creepy and disturbing ending, which I was not expecting. I was expecting it to be the exact same ending as they always are, which is there's some big fight or fire or gunfight or avalanche or something, and the bad guy gets buried up. But oh my gosh, this is insane. So he's walking her out into the swamp. So he's walking her out into the swamp, and she's getting older and older and older looking. And the little boyfriend guy's like, girlfriend, like, look, come back. And like, look at this is super scary. Look at that. I mean, his reaction is perfect. Look at that. This is terrifying. And then the movie ends. Like, no kidding. She looks all old. He takes her under the water, and it ends. I have no idea where it's going to go. Supposedly, the next movie, The Mummy's Curse. Let me see. What does it say on there? Mummy's Curse. Apparently, that movie wraps up this 4-movie series. But I have no idea. Is she gonna get rescued? Is she just gone? Like, is this poor innocent girl just have a horrible life? And then I was starting to think this movie came out in 1944 when World War II had been going for a while. So are they willing to be more like negative and depressing in these movies now because of that? I don't know. All right, so this has been your October 20th movie for Monster Movie Every Day of October 2022. For tomorrow, we have The House of Frankenstein, also from 1944. So that is for October 21st. And I must say that this was a pretty solid mummy movie. You wanna know what this movie has going for it? Look at this. Look how long this movie is. You see that? It is 1 hour and not 25 minutes, 1 hour and 25 seconds long. So these mummy movies go by quick. This one was pretty decent. It was, as far as all the monster movies so far goes, this is right in the middle of the road. So it was totally doable. But I really like that the mummy story's been continuing, and I'm super curious how they're gonna basically wrap it up in the Mummy's Curse. So anyway, stay tuned. Please let me know what you think of this if you're watching these and if you like these kind of movies. Okay, thanks. Bye.